So now we are going to start for Oracle sourcing portal guide for suppliers in a normal or an easiest way to understand the sourcing is that it's a module where the suppliers will quote against the RFQs received from the buyer side. So we'll go back and the whole application of sourcing module starts with the login page. So I will log in with a supplier user. The moment the supplier will log in, he will be seeing a set of responsibilities on the left hand side, and on the right hand side there is a work list. I mean, it is showing what are the open notifications for his information which is sent from the buyer side or by the application itself. The responsibility to be used for the sourcing module is the sourcing supplier. So before that we used iSupplier portal full access is used for responding to the purchase orders, to create the shipments, to acknowledge the purchase orders, to view the invoices, to view the payments. But in order to respond to the quotations, in order to respond to the RFQs and the creation of the quotations, placing of the price, quoting the price, all these details will be done using sourcing supplier responsibility. So we'll click on sourcing supplier, and this is a sourcing home page. the, the moment you click on the sourcing home page, this is the page you will be getting it. On the top it will show you a search. You can search the open negotiations, means the open RFQs, by title, by number, by category, by line, by event. So you can search, you can place the number over here. Then the next portion or the next table is basically showing you those are the active or the draft responses which you send to the buyer. Now response number is basically a quotation number. So this quotation number is a system generated number. The moment you respond to the RFQs, the system will generate a specific number for you. So you have this, for example, now this 3006 is a quotation number against the RFQ 5001-2, which is sent by the buyer. What it shows, the title of it's the type of it, and how much time left. And there is a feature of online discussion also. If there is any message sent from the buyer side, you will be able to see these messages over here as a type of unread messages. Now this portion, this is the first table, which is basically telling you all the responses, all the RFQs you have created, all the quotations you have created against the RFQs you received from the buyer. The next table is basically telling you your company's open invitations, means those RFQs submitted by the buyer and requires your response. Now here we have the RFQ number submitted by the buyer is with the name of negotiation number. It's 32001. The title is there. I placed the test title to it, and how much time left. So it is telling me the time. It's 1 day and 3 hours. So we'll see how to create the quotations and how to respond to this particular RFQ. But before this, I will just want to explain the quick links which we have down. You can manage certain things. You can manage the draft, means you can make your quotations and you can keep it for yourself for your internal discussion before submitting it. You can manage your personal information. So by clicking on this personal information, this is the personal information for the person who is accessing the supplier user, who is accessing the application. So he can update his details over here. Okay. Similarly, you can view the responses, those which are active. If you are disqualified for any of the reason, you can see the response is disqualified. If the responses or the quotation is awarded, you will be seeing it inside the awarded things. And if your quotation is rejected, so you can see the rejected ones also. So it's a view of the responses, means viewing of your quotation statuses. So let us start with the response, how to make the response against, or how to make a quotation against the negotiation number 32001. So we'll click on this number. Now here, this is the page which is basically telling you the details of the RFQ submitted from the buyer side. It is showing you the buyer details, it is showing you the terms and conditions, it is showing you requirements if there is any technical requirements required. Okay, it is also showing if there is any notes and attachments, so it will be showing the notes and attachments to you. The most important thing before doing anything is you will acknowledge your participation, which is over here on your right hand side. You acknowledge your participation means you are participating in this particular RFQ. Then you can start making quotations against it. So you will say acknowledge participation, you will press go. Here you will answer this question which is written over here. So as a note to a buyer, I am writing answer yes, we are participating. And you can say apply. So a message is sent to the buyer as acknowledgement that you are going to participate in this and you are going to submit the quotations for that particular RFQ. Now after doing the acknowledgement, the next important thing is that you will open this list and you can start creating a quote. Now there is the option of online discussions. If you have any clarifications required or something, you can do the online discussion. We will look into it, and you can view the quote history also. So we'll start with the creation of the quote. You will select the action as the create quote and you will press on a go button. It will open the creation page in front of you. Now this is the quote creation page. You can say on the top it is giving your details over here on your left hand side. On the right hand side, the quote is valid until, it is asking for a date. Your quote is valid until which date? So you can place a date over here. Your reference, your internal reference number. So I am giving any reference number. For example, this is my internal reference number. Any specific note to a buyer if you want to place. Any specific attachment you want to place an attachment so that it can be sent to the buyer. And here the down is the requirements. These are the questions. Basically, as a test, we placed only one of the question, but a set of questions will be placed over here which you need to answer asked by the buyer. This is the header details of the quote. So the system already generated a sequence number for your quotation which is 27001 against the RFQ 32001. So after doing this thing, the header, after completing the header details, even at this point of time, if you want to view the RFQ, you can click on view RFQ and you can see the complete RFQ again. Then the next is you click on the lines. Now on the line, well, the moment you click on the lines, it will ask you to update something. You will place your quote price. How much is the price you are going to quote? For example, I place 125. Okay. If there is any particular details which is required inside it to be updated, you can click on update and you can place an attachment to that particular thing. For this particular item, if you want to place any note, you can place a note over here, you can place an attachment also. Okay. So, and the attachment is supported, either it is supporting text, URL, file, any kind of different files, attachments will be there. So you will say apply. The moment it's applied, now you need to fill up the quote price over here. The moment this part is done, if there is any certain information is required by the buyer, will be seen inside the update link. But again, this icon which is in the red color, it indicates more information is requested. If you are seeing this icon over here in front of the item, it means you click on the update icon so that you can place more information which is asked by the buyer. Now after placing up the details of the lines, You can also you can save it as a draft. You can view the RFQ again at this point of time. You can code by spreadsheet. Spreadsheet means if there are so many number of lines and you want to code, you can code by spreadsheet. You can export it in the Excel, fill the Excel sheet, and then you can import an Excel sheet again back. This is another feature of sourcing module. After placing up the details inside it, you click on continue. Okay, this is just a preview page for your response. Now system is basically giving you a chance to just review the complete quotation you are making against that particular RFQ. Any particular attachments, any details, any particular updates you want to do, you can go back clicking on a back button and you can do the changes. If not, you can click on a submit so that a response or a quotation will be recorded against that particular RFQ. So I'm clicking on a submit. System is giving me a confirmation message. Let me see the confirmation message here. Is the quotation number 27001 for RFQ 32001 with this title has been submitted. Now if you go back to the main page, your open invitations is disappeared from this page and it comes up. Here it is showing you this is the one which just now we created as a response. It is active response status against the negotiation number RFQ number 32001 and you have already responded to that. So this is the way how you can create the thing, create the quotation or create a response against the RFQ sent by the buyer. Last thing is having said that I want to show you the usage of online discussions. There's actions. In actions you can see an option of online discussion. Now the online discussion is very simple to be used. If you have any specific clarification to be required and to be asked by the buyer, from the buyer, you can click on online discussion. This is a page of a discussion. It will open. You can place a new message. You can click on new message and you can send a message to the buyer. Please send details of BOQ, for example. BOQ details required. So any particular message you want to place to the buyer, you can place your subject and message over here. Any particular attachment you can do, you can make the attachment over here for that message, and then you can say, or you can click on send. The moment it's sent, it will keep a history of the complete messages between you and the buyer. So the complete message history will remain in the system until the closure of that particular quotation. So once the buyer will respond, you can receive the notification here. So you can click on negotiations. See, right now we already made the message against this particular response number. But if there is any messages or any response from the buyer side, you will be seeing the unread messages over here. So this is how the online collaboration will work and the online discussion is working in the application. This is how sourcing supplier responsibility needs to be used. The very last thing is to show you the preferences. If you want to set the preferences, let me show you the preferences. You can click on preferences to set up the things. You can set up your default responsibility for your user. Okay, yeah, you can place your different password, you can place your new password, you can reset the password, and these are the generic preferences needs to be set by your user at your user level. So I can place a responsibility, default responsibility. When I will open the login page, it should be an iSupplier portal full access. So in that case, I myself, I don't need to click on the iSupplier portal access, it will take me after login page to iSupplier portal access responsibility. So these are the last thing, which is the preference, setting up the preferences for your own user. You can click on apply. It has already been updated, and this is all for. I'm clicking on the home back. This is the main page, and this is the usage of sourcing module by the suppliers. Thank you very much.